is very simple. You start off saying ki if you go to a shop and you ask for change, because people think their experiences are the whole thing, right? So, oh, I would not have bought this toffee, but that fellow who I was buying the cigarette from, he gave me this toffee as change. So I got this change, and now I have this toffee, and somebody got a toffee sale happening. The problem that with that approach is it assumes that people don't want the toffee and they've been given this toffee, otherwise they would not have bought it. Big, which I think is a premise that's wrong in the first place. The second thing is they assume that this toffee change business is the most significant part of the toffee revenue business, which is again not the case. Now, why do I say this? So, first of all, when you look at this Lotte, and Lotte was Parry earlier, which was part of the Murugappa group, I think, and so they have this thing called Coffee Bite. It's very nice, actually. A lot of sugar, but very nice in the sense it actually gives you the feeling of coffee and all that. And I used to have it a lot, and perhaps it was in these little shops, pan shops, and all that stuff given as change. I don't know. So interestingly, people didn't mind these things as change because they didn't care about change so much. In change in any way is always a pain in the neck because after a while it becomes heavy and all that stuff. So you have chocolates, you can use it, you can give it away. It's not too bad and all that. But in any case, I think over a long period of time, change as a concept was, going away for different reasons. People thought UPI is the reason why people don't give these things as change. I agree, maybe they don't give these things as change, but these shops still sell those goods. Why do they sell them? Not because they were keeping them to give as change. Most of the time, people actually come to buy those products. I'll give you the example. There's a Parle G biscuit that has a 5 rupee pack. This is the most selling pack in India, in a like, I think by miles in terms of biscuits. Now, why does this sell so much? Is because in the morning there's a little chai shops. They're all over the place, and people come there and they want some biscuits, but not too many biscuits because they don't want to carry biscuits around. There's some biscuits and not too many biscuits is the smallest pack. You get that small pack, you just use that small pack and you go on. You can't buy loose biscuits, right? You can't say, give me 2 like Parle G biscuits and all that. So they made a small pack and it's been enormously successful. So both anecdotally and data-wise, it seems to kind of match, because if you talk to people from Parle, they'll tell you that this is one of the biggest selling, and in terms of volume, not in terms of total revenue, because maybe some of the other, if you price something higher, and it's very complex, so the revenue numbers may not be exactly the same, but the highest selling pack was this one. In this particular case, it doesn't seem to be the case that UPI came in, people are paying using UPI, and therefore toffee sales are going down. First of all, toffee sales are not going down. Toffee sales are going up. Coffee Bite, COFFY, Coffee Bite, is this company Lotte India. It was listed. That's how I found the thing. I wanted to find a company whose only business was this, right? So I can't use a Nestle. I can't use one of those other companies which are not listed in India because they have international brands and international business. So I want to find India-wide. This Lotte India is one of the few that is only this, or primarily this business. This Choco Bite also. Choco Pie is one thing which that's also sold in shops, but also available otherwise. Now, the idea over here was that if UPI was hurting their business, they would have been seeing a decline in sales. They are not seeing a decline in sales, and you can see that in the screenshot, is that they're actually seeing an increasing amount of sales over the last 10 years. And this particular year, let's make me smaller, please. Yeah, so this particular year, you're looking at a 494 crore profit versus, even pre-COVID, they were at 454 crore profit in 2018-19. So from there, things went down. Now, why did things go down for them? A large part of their customers, they say this in their annual report, is, listen, schools were closed, so we can't perform, because if schools are closed, the kids are the biggest consumers of our products, and because this is sugared, boiled, sweet, so you get the maximum from children. So, and children are not using UPI in any case. So what is this relationship of UPI and this, when their maximum demand comes from a sector that doesn't use UPI, which is school going children and schools and so on, and that COVID had shut down schools and that's why they weren't able to sell. And that so all of this adds up to, the data is not what you see, it is what it's actually in the data itself. And the narrative is very nice that, oh, UPI has come and killed some. I don't. UPI is a great concept, fantastic concept. It's used to do a lot of things. It's disturbed a lot of other people, probably credit cards, probably other things and all that stuff. But what it has not done is made people buy less sugared candies. I think that premise of that entire post is wrong, or that concept of that thing is wrong. It's an illusion that people feel this thing is there, because it simply does not exist. That people buy candies only for giving us change. That is never the case. People buy these things because they like them. That's how they become mega brands. Otherwise, you'd. And by the way, this is not just these. It's everywhere. My grandfather used to own a shop in my village, and they used to have the little mint things, okay, which is now sold as Minto or something, but the little mint thing, little tiny things, it was kept in a jar. It was like sold loose at the time. So people would come and say, I want 5 of them, I want 10 of them. There was one, I forget what that was. It's like boiled sugar wala thing. Again, unbranded local stuff at that time. The largest selling piece. People would come and buy only that. I want 5 of these. I want 6 of these. And adults and children. Adults for their children. This was in the 1980s, when the sweets cost very much lesser than they do now, of course. But even now, as a percentage of normal person's income in a city, that is even less as a percentage. So you'll find even now that people go to shops to buy only that. So I think the assumption that UPI is making a dent into their volumes is wrong, because the premise that it is sold only as change is wrong.